question is, what is the Taos hum? Before we begin, I should say that my name is Larry Torres. I'm a native of Arroyo Seco, New Mexico, in Taos County. The reason that I'm saying this is because there are two Arroyo Secos, one in Taos County and one in Rio Arriba County. So a lot of people don't know where to find me up here in the mountain. But since I'm a native of Arroyo Seco in Taos County, I've been teaching here, I guess, for 38 years now. I'm a professor of languages and linguistics at UNM Taos. Now, a lot of people come to me because I tend to talk a lot and publish a lot about the local culture. I've published about 8 books about the local culture and well over 3,000 articles in magazines and newspapers and journals all over the place. So the question for today is, what is the Taos hum? And I always say that depends on who you're asking and who's willing to answer. A lot of people hear the Taos hum. It's not a uniform sound that's held throughout the whole county. It waxes and it wanes. It goes up and it goes down depending on where you happen to be. Now, many theories have come up as to what the Taos hum might be. Some people say, well, maybe it's all of those people in Los Alamos who are fooling around with all of those machines, and they have a lot of underground laboratories hidden, and so probably that's being filtered up the Rio Grande through the canyon and up this way. Other people say, no, it's a naturally occurring hum because, especially in this year of drought, during years of drought, the water table tends to go down along the Rio Grande, and it exposes certain caves that are hidden most of the year, and that causes the echo also coming up to the canyon. That's another possible theory. Other people say, no, of course, you know that we are exactly on a direct route between Roswell, New Mexico, and Area 51 in Nevada, which means that it's the space aliens that are causing the hum every time they fly over us. And so that's another possibility as to where the Taos hum comes. What I tell them is, actually, it's very easy to explain. Now, I live here in Arroyo Seco, and as I say, this is very important because right behind me, if you were to able to see through this wall, you would see a mountain from which 7 waterfalls descend. Now, there are caves behind each of these waterfalls. Now, if you're standing at the bottom cave, you can hear a low thud, a low hum, a very low tone. So what I'm saying basically, and what I told the London Star when they asked me, was that this mountain acts like the sound box of a guitar. So when you strum a guitar, the sound box projects the sound out of it, do you see? The cave acts exactly the same way because the water's falling. Now, the reason we only hear one dull hum is because we're only at one elevation. If you were to go up to all elevations, all 7 elevations of the 7 waterfalls, you were able to hear the different pitches going up. Standing at the top of El Salto Mountain or at the top of Mount Wheeler, you should be able to gauge all of the sounds at the same time. I wrote it up as the singing waters of El Salto once upon a time. Okay? But what that does is that you can hear all the different hum levels at the same time, but you have to be at a very high elevation. Over here at the bottom, no, you can only hear one. Some people want to channel the Taos hum, so I tell them, well, there are different ways of doing it. If you were to take a quarter and stand in the middle of the Rio Grande Gorge Bridge, that is the bridge that spans the chasm of the Rio Grande, you can actually turn the quarter and be able to channel the hum so that the coin begins to vibrate right in your hand. And that's kind of an interesting phenomenon. I did that for the Today Show for Lester Holt, and he went wild. Nobody had ever told him he could do something along these lines. So as I said, you have different theories as to where the Taos hum is, but this would have been my explanation as to why it does what it does.